The Indira Gandhi case has received much media attention of late. Particularly heart-wrenching in this case is that her 11-month-old baby was taken away from her by her husband. This was 7 years ago. It has taken this long for the courts to come to any form of clear decision about the future of her family, her children. To explain the legal, religious, and fundamental human rights issues in this case, we have a panel of speakers including Datuk Farida Arifin from G25, Ustaz Wan J. Hussain, Datuk Haji Taslim, and finally Indira Gandhi herself.
I have consulted my colleagues in the G25 and we are solidly behind campaign for justice for Indira Gandhi. We're very concerned about the denial of justice to her because looking at the legal aspect, this is also in violation of the equality clause of the Federal Constitution, which is Article 8, which is enshrined in the Federal Constitution, which says that all citizens are equal before the law, and if you deny justice to a citizen, this is in clear violation of this important, very important article, which is in the fundamental liberties part of the Federal Constitution. And I take issue with the judgment, with the decision of the Court of Appeal in this case when they said that child conversion cases, that they do not have jurisdiction over child conversion cases, which to me is a clear abdication of their responsibility. For them to say that only the Syariah court can hear these child conversion cases, this is denying justice to Indira Gandhi and all litigants like her, like Deepa case for example, and other cases, because she is a non-Muslim and Syariah courts do not have jurisdiction over non-Muslims. So that means there is no right of redress. She cannot get justice. Where does she go to? Like if you recall, in 2009, the cabinet had decided that in cases where a spouse converts to Islam, the children of the marriage, because the marriage was contracted under civil law, right? The children of the marriage must remain in the religion that they were born. But of course, cabinet decisions do not have the force of law. So I would suggest that we need to reform the relevant laws to make sure that this happens. And last year or the year before last, following the Deepa case, the Negeri Sembilan State Assembly amended the Syariah state enactment to provide for such cases where a spouse, whether husband or wife, converts to Islam before he can register, before the conversion can be registered, the marriage, he must go back to court and dissolve the marriage, and all ancillary matters like custody of children and maintenance must be settled before it is allowed, before the conversion is allowed to be registered.
Perkara yang paling penting adalah Islam ni adalah agama kemanusiaan. Makanya serahan itu, anak itu adalah diserah atas asas kemanusiaan. Sebab itu saya punya pandangan, anak itu perlu diberikan kepada ibu. Sebab kasih sayang antara mak dengan anak itu lagi dekat berbanding sayang antara anak dengan bapa. Dalam Quran dia ada sebut tentang seseorang ibu nak menyusukan anak selama 2 tahun. Jadi dalam jangka 2 tahun itu tidak sewajarnya seseorang ibu itu dipisahkan daripada anak dia. Sebab ini problem untuk anak itu dibesarkan. Kalau tak nanti akan ada masalah pada pembesaran anak. Maka itu tindakan yang tidak wajar sebenarnya. Dia telah menafikan elemen kemanusiaan itu sendiri.
I wouldn't use the word take away the baby, to very inhumanly separate the baby who was being breastfed and go and convert her and the other children is definitely not acceptable. It's not acceptable at all. Separating a child who is being breastfed itself can be deemed as haram. So, in whatever aspect you look at it, I think this injustice has to be corrected.
Actually, it started after a few years of my marriage. We always have argument. He's always changes his job, so there's always financial problem. After I gave birth to my third baby, he was frequently up and down to Thailand, and then I found out that he has an affair with another woman. That was where he started like moving away from us. He seldom come back, and he totally like this 1 month, 2 months, he never comes back at home at all. And one day he came back and told me, let's convert to Muslim. I said, no, I'm not going to convert. Then I asked him, why are you telling this? He said, once we convert, all our problems can be solved. We can get privileges. So it will ease all the burdens. And later, 1-2 years, we can convert back. I said, no. So this was what was happening in my life. And there's one particular day I really couldn't stand. I told my mother, this is what is happening in my life. Can you please come to my house? And when he know I told this to my mother, he started to beat me. And the sad part was my children did saw that. And when my mother came to my house, he even beat my mother and my other 2 sisters. On that night, while the argument was going on, he grabbed my daughter, my youngest daughter, from my elder daughter's hand. That is the last we have seen my youngest daughter, who was that time still only 11 months baby. She was breastfed, and it was totally a shock for us. We never thought that this will happen. He just grabbed her and ran away. We went to the police station. We stayed all night at the police station. I said, please try to locate my daughter. There's one time that I was waiting outside the police station the whole night, just for asking the police to return back the child. Go and locate him, please bring back the child. And they did nothing. When we was at the police station, I was asking the sergeant, kenapa dia belum sampai lagi? Saya baru panggil. Saya tak dengar puan panggil dia. Saya baru panggil Muhammad Ridwan. Muhammad Ridwan? I don't know, siapa tu? Awak punya suami lah. Baru, awak tak tahu ke dia sudah masuk Islam? I was so shocked because just a few weeks earlier before that, he came back home. He took us to temple. At that moment, I don't know that he has already converted. He took us to temple. As usual, we go to temple, and then he took my kids for makan. It never came to my mind that he acted in a way that he has already converted. We never know that. He convinced me that if we convert to Muslim, that we will get a sum of money, which is he said each husband 5,000 and the wife gets another 5,000, and each child will get about 2,500. And he said this can solve a lot of his financial problem. So I said, no money can solve all this matter for me. So I said, I'm not going to convert to Islam. He said he can get some government projects, some other privileges from government. So I was like, why are you so interested in all that? If you are a good man, you can work hard, and you have a lovely family to support you, I think that is more than enough. I've been fighting for this case for 7 years, and it's been dragging for such a long time. I hope that this fight is not only for me, as well as for the people who caught in a situation like this. It could be a woman, it could be a man, anybody. No, all these 7 years, not even a single word from her.
But you got SMSs from him now and again.
Nothing about my daughter.
Same handphone you use.
Yes.
And the police know that.
Yes. And the police claims that they couldn't locate him. So this fight is not only for me. This is a fight for everyone who is in the same situation.
It's quite clear that what the country needs is clarity in the form of law and policy to protect the rights of the non-converting family members in such a case, in the spirit of justice and non-discrimination. Thank you for your attention.